3D printed irons. Well, nearly. Today's review is the Cobra Radspeed irons. Now these have got a 3D printed part in them. I've got the 7 iron and the pitching wedge, and I've got them both in the KBS Tour 90 stiff shaft. So let's hit some balls. Okay, pitching wedge to start. Pitching wedge is 42.5 degrees, so on the strong level. The 7 iron is 27.5, so again it's on the strong side of the spectrum when it comes to loft. So 42 is basically a 9 iron. What this has got though is extreme toe and heel weighting, so it's called radial weighting. That's what RAD stands for, radial weighting. And then it's got this 3D printed medallion, as it calls, and that's just there, I'm assuming, just to aid acoustics when it comes off the face. To look down at as a pitching wedge, it's a bit clunky, so it's a little bit sort of thick top line. It just looks pretty thick, but to be fair, it looks forgiving. Down on the face, it does have a white line to help you sort of line that ball up and get it in the right sort of position, so sort of ball alignment. But how does it perform? Sounds great off the face. Spin down at 6,000 is not ideal for a pitching wedge. That's sort of like 7 iron spin. Carry 120, didn't really get hold of that, I don't think, at that kind of distance. Again, it sounds really good off the face, it's nice and controllable. Interestingly though, it's not carrying as far as I thought it would. I thought it would carry a little bit further with that sort of stronger loft, which is a little bit testament to the club itself, really, that it's not flying miles. That'll be a better comparison of how far it's going to go. 143. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not going massively miles, but the spin rate is down at 6.5, which is not ideal when it comes to spin, but it's peaking nice and high. It's coming in at a decent descent angle. Performing really well. Sounds great. Doesn't look the best in the world, to be perfectly honest. A little bit fat on that one. How's it done? It's still carried well. Still peaked out well. Yeah, still a good club. So it's, you know, even though I hit that one pretty heavy, it still performed really well. I just want to get one out the middle, see if I can get a flyer. Oh, that's a great hit. There we go, there's the club's potential. 160. Spin rate 6.5, it's low. You know, that needs to be up at 8,000-9,000. But peak height 108. Descent angle 50.7 is fantastic for a club like this. Right, let's take one more and then we'll get the 7 iron out. That was a good shot. Yeah, 150, 6.5 spins. The spin's consistent. The distance is purely down to my swing speed. Great descent angle. So it's actually really easy to hit, which is what you want. I did hit one out the toe there and it still sort of carried well. There's a drop in the first couple of swing speeds where I was just getting used to it, but as soon as I picked that up, it's performed really well. So this is a little bit different. So on the top line here, you've got this carbon cutout. And what that is that's going to take weight off the top of the club so they can then put it lower in the club, which is going to aid launch and spin and all that kind of stuff. So top line doesn't look as thick as it is because of that missing section, that black section. Now on the SZ, that was sort of like a metallic silver and it looked appalling, whereas this is now black. It changes the look a little bit and makes it look a little bit more appealing to me. Down at the ball, you can see the bottom of the club stick out the back, which is something I don't really like, especially at sort of 7 iron level. Wow, that felt fast. 201. Yeah, that felt quick. Sounded great, but like as soon as I hit it, I was like, that has fired off that face. Peak height 101, descent angle 46, that's really good, but look at that spin rate, 3.7. That's the problem I have with these kind of clubs. Oh, it just flies off that face. Tried to aim that out to the right to bring it in, but it didn't. Spin up at 4, it's not great. What it is doing though, what I do like is the peak height. and the descent angle. It's getting up there. It's not going low and low and bullety. It's getting up to that decent peak height. For me, it's just that spin rate, but at 27.5 degrees, it's kind of where I'd expect it to be. It's like 5-iron, isn't it? So that was a little bit heavy, so there's a drop off in distance, but still got out there. It still did well. I'm gonna try and, so that was like a heavy toe, and it still sort of performed well, whereas on more players' clubs, that drop off would be a lot bigger. Oh, it's just a bullet. That's gonna go miles. 212, yeah, that's just gone miles. That's my issue with these clubs. You just get one out of the centre like that, you are flying. That's 32 yards further than the shot before it. That's my problem. But that's strike dependent. It's what you get when it comes to strike. Another good hit. 204. Yeah, I mean, the sound of them is great. It sounds like when you've hit it, when like the first couple of shots, as soon as I hit it, I was like, that's just come off like a rocket. It sounds really quick. It feels great, to be fair. It feels like a really good club. It doesn't feel heavy or clunky or like firm. It feels soft enough when you get it out the centre of the face, apparently. That was a bad one. So yeah, that's just dropped out there. You hit them bad like that, doesn't matter what the club is, they are not going to go anywhere. Right, one more then. I'm going to try and aim out to the right. Got to sort this draw out. What I will say, sound and feel for the bracket of club it's in is fantastic. It feels great. A lot of people are going to be using this year, are going to find it a fantastic club. For me, it doesn't spin enough, but it's not going to at that kind of loft. It looks fine. And it performs pretty well. Performs pretty well. Right, okay, let's be honest, these clubs aren't for me. You know, they're not designed for me, they're designed for people who lack a bit of distance and want that distance with a stronger loft, but they also have that radial weighting, you know, the lightweight top line to push that weight lower to aid launch. That's what these clubs are designed for, and I think for those type of people, they will work really, really well. The sole isn't massively thick compared to some of the others. The top line with that carbon on the top doesn't give the impression of it being really thick. So I kind of see that as two ways. Do people who want these irons want that thick top line so that visually it looks forgiving, or do they want that players looking top line but with the forgiveness in? I don't know. I honestly don't know. You'll have to comment below and let me know what you think. Do you prefer the thinner look but having that forgiveness, or do you prefer the chunk to be able to know you've got the forgiveness? I don't know. This 3D printed thing, not sure how much it's making a difference. It's immeasurable. What I will say is the sound off the face is really good. It is like a crack, to the point when you've hit it, you're like, that's just gone miles. And you saw that reaction with the first shot that I did. Feel wise, it feels great. You know, I'd argue if you blind tested me between clubs like this and forged clubs that are like blades and stuff like that, I'd argue I probably wouldn't tell the difference. You know, it's purely because I know it looks like this. I know a blade looks like that. I know it's forged. All those type of things make me feel like it's softer, but like it's immeasurable. It's all about feel. For me, really long blade length, not my type of iron, but for those people who can scatter it all over the face, yes, me, I suppose, it's there, and it still does get out there. There are drop-offs where they're going to be drop-offs, but it still gets out there a decent distance with those missed hits, whereas some of the bladed players' irons will drop off a little bit more than that. For me though, it's that flyer that you can get from this that just would put me off it, especially at sort of 100 mile an hour, 95 mile an hour club head speed. It would put me off this kind of club. But for people who want that extra distance and things, they might not get the flyer. So it's definitely worth a test. It's on the radar of game improvement irons for a lot of people, and I think a lot of people will go for this. It looks shelf appeal wise fantastic, performs really, really well, feels great, sounds great. It's definitely a contender for people to use this year. Right, I hope you've enjoyed that review, and if you have, please give this video a like down below, and that lets me know that you're enjoying this content and the content that I'm putting out. If you are new to the channel, please drop this channel a subscribe. Plenty more reviews coming out, especially out on course when we can go out and play, and lots of other content coming from course vlogs and getting people in. There's lots more coming on this channel, so please do hit that subscribe button and support this channel. It would mean the world to me. For the time being, I'm going to leave that there, and I'll see you all on the next video.